Candidate Herman Cain today lost his battle with coronavirus. The 74-year-old was hospitalized after attending President Trump's controversial indoor rally in Tulsa, but it's unclear where he contracted the virus. President Trump today remembering Cain as a powerful voice of freedom.
Edward Stringham, president of the American Institute for Economic Research, joins us now. Edward, great to have you with us. Any chance this happens? President Trump met with immediate opposition, suggesting that there's no chance we get a delay. What do you think?
Yeah, it's so interesting. This right after the bad economic news of decrease of GDP by 35%, immediately he's coming up with this idea, this very obviously controversial idea. It seems like it's like, no, don't pay attention to all these bad economic news. I've got this new controversial thing. It's just sounds as crazy. I just can't even imagine it.
And what does it say about President Trump, the fact that he's come out proposing that we delay the election? I mean, is this an implicit acknowledgement that he is under strain? We can take a look at markets now and see where we stand about an hour and a half into the European session, where we stand on the U.S. trading front, to where Wall Street is poised to open. So we've got to green across the board there, the S&P, the Dow, and the NASDAQ. I hear we have Edward back. So let's get back to Edward in our conversation about the political environment in the U.S. Edward, great to have you back with us. I was just asking what you think this says about the president and how he views his chances into the November election. I mean, is this an implicit acknowledgement of the strain he's come under given his handling of the pandemic?
Oh, definitely. So it's one thing to close the economy for 2 weeks, and some businesses can handle that for sure. But 4 months, there's just more and more large companies who are going under. And the ripple effects throughout small businesses are huge. We can see the best economy in recent history tanking, and that's showing up in the polls. It's showing up in election betting odds. He was a clear favorite in that. It's just been plummeting. So what he was claiming he could take credit for, the economy, has been unraveled by his policies, by extended lockdown, uncertainty. Nobody knows if people are going to get back to business. Investments for corporations have been shuttering. And in certain service sectors, there's been a decrease of 90% of economic activity. And that's really putting a strain on the average person. Obviously, it's putting strains on small businesses and even large businesses. And I think that he's losing a lot of support among all groups.
You say among all groups. Does that include President Trump's core supporters? Do they feel affected? Do they look negatively upon the way the economy is rolling out and the way small and medium-sized businesses and households are being affected here?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, there's certain people who are just not going to switch away from him. But even some of his biggest supporters, Peter Thiel, for example, word on the street is that he's just fed up with these lockdowns. People who are saying, okay, fine, we can deal with some of his maybe crazy social policies, but at least he's been good on the tax cuts and deregulation. At this point, he's been, there's so much uncertainty in the economy. Are we ever going to get back open? It's been gone from this 2-week delay to indefinite delays. And now he's proposing a delay of the election. Is going to be a 2-week delay, an indefinite delay. I think a lot of people at the margin are losing faith in his leadership.
Let's look at his opposition, Joe Biden. How important is it who Joe Biden chooses as his running mate?
I think that a lot of people are worried that Biden might be heavy-handed on the regulation and taxes side. So at least I'm not an advisor, obviously, but it seems that it would be sensible if he chose somebody with broad appeal, traditional. Let's be in favor of the economy. Let's not be against business. Let's be having market policy that will help promote stock market prices. So I do think that, there's a lot to be determined. But, a lot of people I know are worried either way.
And we're all watching developments in Washington around this further aid, further stimulus from Congress. And could this be a game changer for President Trump if we see Congress deliver a substantial more stimulus to help weather the storm for those households and those small and medium-sized businesses that you say are on the brink of leaving President Trump?
Yeah, I just don't see this stimulus package really having the impact that many of its advocates even have. It's coming at the expense of taxpayers, which is the average person, also corporations. And so we're just basically giving money to individuals from individuals. The great economist Henry Hazlitt called that the broken window fallacy. Anytime you take money from the private sector, it's got to be spent from the taxpayer. So the idea that we're just going to spend our way to prosperity, going to go into more and more debt, and eventually it's us who's going to actually pay this back. So the idea that this stimulus is going to affect things much, I just don't see it.
Edward, we'll leave it there. Thank you for joining us this morning. Edward
Thanks.
Stringham, President, American Institute for Economic Research.